My name is. My name is.
Johnny
My
Radio
name is.
himself, John Harden.
Hi. My name is. My name is. My name is.
Yo, 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 yo. Welcome into a little Sports 56 happy hour. I'm your buddy, Johnny Radio. Happy Friday, everybody. Let me tell you a little something. I can't believe I didn't get that over. I should have known. It was looking so solid. In fact, the in-play line last night jumped all the way up to 61 at one point. Heck, I almost thought about hedging it and taking under like 58 because I had over 48 and a half. And then all of a sudden, everybody knows Tua going for a fourth down, lowered his head, and DeMar Hamlin lowered the boom, and Tua got another concussion. Sad stuff for Tua, but let's just be real. Everybody I know out there is talking about he should retire. And I agree that there should be concern. I'm just going to tell you and just be real with you. When you're a young man, you don't live for 45, 50 years from now. And that's just the reality of it. And you just signed a $212 million contract. So for everybody who's begging him to retire, get his family to talk to him, hey, get his family, talk to him. The Tagovailoas, football is their family. That's what they do for a living. But I'm just going to tell you, straight up, my man's going to play football again because he's competitive. He wants to. And again, generational wealth. He just signed the massive contract. But man, the thing is CTE and concussions are real. We're going to talk about some stuff that's going on in the world of the NFL, but we got college football. I don't think you understand tomorrow. If Memphis pulls off the win down in Tallahassee and goes and beat Mike Norvell's Florida State team, I am running down the street buck naked. It's going down for real. Chas, you're going to have to deal with it. It's going down. I feel it, though, in my bones, but I also feel something even better. Over 52. I think that is easy pickings. And I know I'm a big under guy normally. Went over last night, should have had it. Didn't. But when you look at Memphis and Mike Norvell's Florida State team, Mike Norvell had a little extra time to prepare and try to get this team right. I would like to say that Mike Norvell is a good coach. Did they lose to Georgia Tech over in Ireland? Yes, weird situation. Did they lose to Boston College? They got bully balled. Bill O'Brien and BC just ran right down their damn throat. And Florida State, there's nothing they could do to stop it. That defense is terrible. Florida State's defense, by the way, right now, currently 130th. Not good. Not good at all. So Memphis is going to score. I hate to say this, but let's just be real. Memphis hadn't played anybody. I don't know how good that defense is. But I know with a little bit of extra time, you would think that they would be able to put some points on the board. I like over 52, but we're breaking down games all day long. I got another great bet that I already love. I'm just going to let it slip out there. We're going under 43.5 Utah and Utah State. Why? Cam Rising is not going to be playing. You can tell the line movement. It was 21.5. It's down to 18. The total was 45. It's down to 43.5. Cam Rising is not playing. The backup quarterback we saw last week when Cam went out, they scored 0 points against Baylor in the second half. Guess who the quarterback is for Utah, by the way? Do you know who it is? Mr. Brian Dacus?
This weekend?
Do you know who Utah's backup quarterback is?
No, it used to be the kid. Now he's at Vanderbilt.
It's Isaac Wilson, Zach Wilson's little brother.
You're kidding.
No. So that means we're going to get to see a little Zach and Isaac's mom this weekend.
Wait. So Zach Wilson, who was the star quarterback at BYU, has a little brother that is at BYU's rival school, Utah.
Yeah, it's pretty weird, isn't it?
That's crazy.
Plus, we got rivalry week, kind of like you could kind of say it. You got Utah and Utah State. You got some Beavers playing some Ducks. I like the Ducks and the Beavers games. I think Beavers are one of the most underrated mascot probably on planet Earth. And we had a little rivalry week last week. But we got Washington State, Washington, West Virginia, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Miami of Ohio. So some big games, but we're going to break them down all day. 12 o'clock, Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports. He's going to lay it on me. 11:30, Jay Ham, the historian. We're going to be talking about views from the 22. We're going to do all things from the NFL to college football. And then, of course, we have the two biggest degenerates in the whole wide world at 12:30, T-Money and Uncle Brasky. I met Uncle Brasky's uncle. Bro, you think Uncle Brasky's a trip? You wait till you hear this guy. I got a little tape of him down in Oxford last week, but I'm so excited because what do we do on Fridays? We open up talking about Friday Night Lights. My man Ben Bennett is in the house. Houston last week had one of the biggest games, period. They went on the road to face their rivals in Germantown. For the people who don't know, man, how did it go?
Tough ball game.
Yo, man, hold on, man. My man over here sleeping on the job.
I'm not sleeping on the job. I just got the mics confused. That's on me. I'll take it.
Hey, tough ball game Friday night. We came out on top of a 36-30 victory, but, man, it was a little bit of a quagmire. It was all damp field, but the guys defensively, bend don't break. Offensively, back doing their thing. I think DJ Miller went 8 catches, 221 yards.
What'd you say, 221 yards?
I think it's 221 yards. I heard something like that.
Wait.
Had some big plays. Man, our kickoff, Jaden, put, 5 back in the end zone, did a great job. And we had tons of highlights, tons of good points. But like I said, our defensively, we bend but don't break. I mean, we put it right there, came up, 6 points. That's all. I win by a half point or
as long as you win.
As long as we keep winning. I think we're 15 wins in a row, 9 wins on the road. All
Road Warriors.
Good points. Good points right there.
All right, now what do you got coming up this week? Because is it not y'all's homecoming?
Homecoming tonight with Cordova coming into town there.
The Dova? Hold on.
Coming
Cordova has like their own school now?
Yes. I think it's been there 20-ish years. It's been there.
Listen, I don't know if you know this. I haven't paid that much attention to things that I can't gamble on.
Yeah. It might be 24, 25 years they've been there.
No, thanks for making me feel old.
I think Larry McGee opened it up.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Oh, Dr. McGee.
Oh, Dr. McGee. But yeah, we're gonna hopefully tonight. You get us another W. We're going to have to once again play hard and play fast and block and tackle.
Kind of sounds so simple, doesn't it?
It sounds simple on paper, but you got to put it all together. Between the hashes when we got to
get them together. 11 boys on the same page, right defense, right offense, and know what the hell the play's doing. Oh. Now I got to bring something up real quick. So like you had such a big game last weekend. Now it's homecoming. 3 wins under your belt already this season. Like you said, y'all won 15 straight. Is this where you kind of get a little bit worried about some complacency?
No, I don't think it would. I mean, of course, in coach speak and in your mind, no. I think we're going to come out there. We're going up and down the field, back and forth. But you know what? I bet Notre Dame thought the same thing. Once again,
Northern Illinois.
You're going to get everybody's best game. Everybody wants that shot at the state champs. Everybody wants that shot. So. But no, I don't think they will. I don't believe they will at all because once again, I've said in the weeks past, man, these guys they're laser focused. They're ready. They're ready to block and tackle, catch, run, and everything it needs, or it takes to win.
And I know Cordova probably doesn't appreciate the fact that y'all are homecoming, like having y'all's homecoming tonight.
Yeah, that's you never want to. But
you don't want me at team's homecoming.
You don't want to do that.
Yeah, you got to do it. You have to do it. Now, one question, man. Y'all had a horse come out this year to open up. Yeah. Like it's homecoming night. How crazy is it going to get out there?
I think it's going to get pretty crazy. I think they're having like some color thing, maybe kind of like that color run where everybody's getting dusted. I have no idea. It's going to be something. There's something planned every home game to get the crowd. I mean, like I said, our crowds are great. The atmosphere is great. I mean, it's just man, it's It's a show in itself. Pre-game is a show in itself.
Now I got to ask you, how's my favorite new athletic director? Was he happy as all get out?
He's ecstatic. Matter of fact, I believe some of the small stats and I think Selly's.
Marvis Davis, right?
Marvis Davis. Selly's running for about 107 yards a game. Just lowering the shoulder, dropping the boom. We had some, other good things. Chandler's hitting for 543 yards passing
Wait
through
a second.
the air.
Hold on. In 3 games?
3 games.
Man, dang, that's so unfair. I think I had a smidge over 1,000 throughout the whole damn season. I appreciate y'all not throwing it back then.
Yep. Like I said, we had some guys that are right now that are kind of really starting to come in their own, like Corey Faulkner, 55
You
yards.
think, okay, so what kind of offensive numbers? I mean, we talked about Selly's running like a madman. You got Day over there tossing the ball all over the yards. You said you had a kid who had 200 yards receiving. It sounds like your defense, you said bend, don't break. It sounds like your offense is, again, the strength of your team, it feels like.
I think they can be. They can be a very strong point. But like I said, our defense, defense still wins championships, I believe. I think we still have that defense that can do it. But like I said, we kind of have that bend, don't break against Germantown, and they did, a fabulous job. Corey Faulkner caught a 55-yard interception for a touchdown.
Man.
Yeah, this is a kid that's hitting 10 tackles a game, and he's just a sophomore. Just a beast, an animal.
Got speed?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, he can move.
How much faster are the young boys today?
Oh, I would say it's just like
they
watching,
just they're all bigger, stronger, faster.
Oh yeah, there's tons of speed at every position. We had 1 or 2 guys that were fast. Now there's 7 guys on the team that can move.
How difficult is though to because like you talk about speed and all the athleticism that in today's game, how hard is it though to get an offensive line to be a cohesive unit and actually understand their blocks? Is that still the hardest unit to teach?
Yes, I do believe that is a very hard unit to teach because they have to be in a spot. They've got to be in a particular spot.
And their technique's got to be right.
Technique's got to be
holding
in there.
calls.
We've got a pretty good O-line coach that does a pretty good job of teaching those kids. But like I said, we're doing it with a young offensive line, but they're a scrappy little unit, and you can't, as long as you're giving 110% and scrapping out there on the field, it's going to be
having
tough.
A veteran quarterback like Day, that has to also help.
Having big veteran weapons around that offensive line is a plus. That is a huge plus. And like I said, they'll blow you away sometimes when you watch. You're like, oh man, they are getting after it. They get after it. And next week, I'm going to have one of those offensive linemen in here.
You going to bring in? Oh, you're going to bring in
a big nasty next week.
Dig that. That's going to be nice. Again, Marvis Davis, though, really cool guy that we brought in here last week. Got at the dub. Seems like everything's going in the right direction. You got the right head coach out there. You guys, it just seems like everything over at Houston is pushing up daisies, man. Like, how are y'all doing this?
Great leadership. In a nutshell, it is that great people were put in great spots and they're doing great things. And
it seems like and you must have a bunch of good parents too.
Yes,
supporting all the kids.
Once again, it starts at the top, works its way down, and we can't. Just with Marvis there leading the way and leading the charge, it's just really good. It really is good. And like I said, we hope we can keep all this up and keep it going and continue to put some W's over in the right column and keep the L's out of that column and do our job. And whether you win by 1 or win by 45.
How's big old Coach Thomas feeling right now?
James, he doesn't show much emotion. He keeps everything going, and he's the keeps everything
steady Eddie.
Keeps us steady. Keeps all the coaches steady. Keeps everybody in line, and he's a one game at a time guy.
So homecoming is tonight. Y'all aren't gonna make them be at workout at 6 a.m. on Saturday, are you?
Nope, Sunday afternoon.
Man, y'all got so much more class these days too.
Yeah, we getting. Nobody wants to wake up at 6 anymore and come to practice.
I hated those days. Those
They
were
were
rough.
terrible.
So when
Coach,
do y'all get y'all's workout in? When do you watch your film? Do y'all do it Sunday?
Sundays, we'll be in there on Sunday afternoon. Our freshman team, we go through a walkthrough because we play on Monday, so we do our walkthrough and everything, varsity stretching, lifting, films, stuff like that.
Now I got to ask you, practice I'm sure was a whole hell of a lot different when we were playing compared to like how it is today. What are some of the different ways and the techniques that y'all go out there and still are able to put such a quality product on the field?
Well, I think I look at nowadays, or like practice nowadays, it seems more like kind of collegey, I guess, is if you're going to use that kind of term. Like back in the,
We hit every day, full pads.
We're in shorts and shells, and there's no taking to the ground. I mean, you left with scratches, bumps, bruises all over you. You were hitting. You hit 3 days a week. Walk through on Thursday. Now everything is more kind of centered around the way like a college or a pro team would do it.
Does it keep the guys more fresh throughout the season?
Sure, I believe so. Yes,
I think so too.
Yeah.
And what's the nutrition like for I mean, do y'all put in? I know you're putting in the weight room. Do y'all also help with nutrition?
We got, they'll get protein drinks, stuff like that. We got a little cooler. They come by, get their protein drink, stuff like that. Of course, we talk to them about nutrition, staying hydrated, try to eat good, do, all the things you need to do to keep your body fueled up and ready to go.
So it sounds like we got a college little football game going on tonight. Houston High School, they're running their program like nobody's business. Coach Thomas has been the bomb. Ben Bennett's in here with me. I love talking with him every week. Got to bring up this. Last night we saw Tua have a concussion. It's been the talk of almost every radio, TV show. It's a very, very terrible situation, and it's very sad for Tua. Because, I mean, it just seems like he can't every time he takes a big hit. I mean, this is his fourth bad concussion in the NFL, and he had also that terrible one in Alabama. So, I mean, he's already had 5. Like, what do you think there's any conversation that you could have with him that you think you could actually get him off the field?
No, I don't think most football players don't want to come off the field no matter what. And concussions they're such a big thing because
CTEs.
Yeah, now
real.
Back in in the 90s,
we didn't even know anything about that.
There was no big deal. It was just you get out there and play, rub some dirt on it, let's go.
Dude, the smelling salt, he'll wake up. Get him back in there.
Concussions are a bit. It's like I said, it's a big deal. You got protocols. And you have to do so much stuff to get back in the game, and it takes a couple weeks. And with doctors and the trainers and everything, concussions are a big deal.
So how do y'all handle it now at Houston High School?
I think there's a full-on protocol the same way that probably the same basically thing Tua is going through. So we have trainers that do certain things with the guys. If anybody gets a concussion, they have to do so much stuff to get back on the field, and of course, obviously released by doctors and stuff like that. So it is a big deal. The brain is a big deal.
It is definitely a big deal. It was very, very sad. One other thing I was going to say: have you ever seen domination in a team own another team? Do you realize that Josh Allen is 12-2 in his career against the Miami Dolphins?
That's a heck of a record.
That is owning a team. That is absolutely owning a team. But I did also want to bring this up because Joe Brady's over there taking over the offensive coordinator duties. And ever since he took over last year for the Buffalo Bills, when they got rid of Ken Dorsey, they have started running the damn football. And you think about Josh Allen putting that S on his chest. My man didn't throw for 150 yards last night. James Cook had 3 touchdowns. Still in the NFL in a passing league. Run the damn ball. Is the way it kind of leads to victory. Why is that?
Man, I'm
beat up on that defense.
Hey, just get between the tackles, just run that ball until we can't run. I love to run the football. I love, I'm not a big. It's great. Offense is good. It's the game's 45-47, but. Man, give me a good 13-10 game. Man, you saw some hitting going on.
Yeah, you did. You did. Now, Tigers are on the road. They're playing Florida State. Former coach Mike Norvell is at Florida State right now, 0-2. Things aren't looking real good. All the hopes of Memphis right now are off of hoops, and they're all on the football team. Can the Tigers go down to Tallahassee and bring back that dub?
I'll be honest with you. I don't trust Memphis in a big game. when you put them in a big game with a spotlight on them, they do crazy stuff. You look at when they played Tennessee back, that 21-17 game, beat Peyton. Ole Miss comes up here, should have destroyed them. They beat Ole Miss. You put them in a game with a spotlight on it, and it's something scary about it.
It is kind of like, it does make you a little, like last year at Missouri, they went up there and they fought their little tail off. They just couldn't pull it out. But man, I'm telling you, the crazy thing for me is that total, 52. I feel like the Florida State defense, this is something that I don't think Mike Norvell can fix, because when you talk about defense and offense, there's still weapons at Florida State. They still have speed. They have that big freshman running back who's a monster. Mike Norvell's a great coach. He can hopefully try to get DJ Uiagalelei in positions to be successful, but I don't think you can fix that Florida State defense. Because when you see two teams in 2 weeks in a row just literally maul that front seven, if you're a defensive coach, you got to be a little bit nervous, right?
Yes, because they're running the ball on them, and you might not even see DJ much. You never know. What's the Glenn from Lausanne?
Yeah. Oh, you mean hell? Bring in anything right now for Mike Norvell.
You might see a little dose of him this weekend, but you also gave Coach Norvell 2 weeks to prepare for this game.
Yeah, that's the one thing that makes me nervous. That's why I think my favorite play is over 52. Tonight's homecoming out at Houston High School. They're playing Cordova. What's their the Mustangs? I obviously know that, but what's Cordova's?
The Wolves.
The Wolves.
Yep, the Wolves.
The Mustangs and the Wolves. Yep. It's going down tonight.
Mm-hmm. And also we get just for those who haven't mentioned it in a couple weeks, Gates Mims.
Nothing but love for you.
He's catching, doing a lot better. Chemo is actually kind of doing some good, and I believe this coming week he's going to have some pretty heavy doses, some stuff where he'll be having some overnight stays in the hospital, but he is responding well.
Well, everybody out there, seriously, thoughts and prayers. Give him out there to Gates Mims, because he's going through some tough time right now, and I know he's got to appreciate his brothers and everybody out there supporting him in the community. So that's tough. What else you got over there?
Man, that's about it. I think we kind of touched on everything today. I'm ready to.
Now you got to go out there and get a dub.
I'm ready. I'm leaving here. Might grab me a sandwich on the way and heading straight to the school.
My man, Ben Bennett, Houston High School. It is their homecoming. It's going down tonight. I appreciate your time, brother. We'll do it again next Friday, and bring a big ugly in here.
Big uglies are coming.
Back in 2 shakes. Jay Ham, Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to real sports talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Country music singer-songwriter Kylie Morgan loves her rain from Genesis Diamonds.
This is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. In these uncertain economic times, there are so many things as a contractor and a business owner that I cannot control. The rising cost of materials, not to mention fuel and transportation costs. In the last 2 years, shingle prices have almost doubled, and commercial materials have doubled. And I don't have to tell you what fuel costs these days. But you know what I can control? How much markup I put on a project. I have always prided myself in knowing I never gouge a customer. But in an effort to ensure my crews have work and my customers are being treated fairly, I have lowered my profit margin, hoping to give you a price you can live with and keeping my crews busy. So if you need a roof or gutters, please give us a call. 5 Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 5 Roofing, a proud sponsor of Tiger Athletics and a member of the Tigers home team. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Join us celebrating 26 years of Napa Cafe. Hi, I'm Glenda Hastings, owner of Napa Cafe, and I'm inviting you over for dinner. Treat yourself tonight with a delightful dinner of scrumptious combinations, fresh salads, homemade soups, or maybe start with an appetizer, like our baked Dungeness crab dip with manchego cheese, lemon, garlic, and French baguette toast. Drift into one of our fresh seafood dishes, like the caramelized sea scallops with curry beurre blanc, black forbidden rice, and Thai mango salad, or our ancho honey glazed salmon with creamy black bean puree, avocado pico de gallo, and jalapeno crema. Maybe you're looking for something cozy and comforting, like our Duroc pork chop with apple brandy demi-glaze and blue cheese bacon mashed potatoes. We have something for everyone. Napa Cafe, open Wednesday through Saturday for dinner starting at 5 o'clock. For reservations, visit our website at napacafe.com. Come join us as we celebrate 26 years of Napa Cafe. I'd sure love to see you.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss Sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56, 560 AM and 98.5 FM, your Mid-South sports station. Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour brought to you by Buster's Butcher at 199 South Highland, where every cut is the right cut. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Happy Friday, people. Oh my goodness, I'm so blessed. Everybody's out there that's still above ground is blessed because we got a lot of good football coming on. Heck, we got a great one tonight out of Houston High School. Homecoming. Friday night, the Dirty Dove is coming up in the house. I heard my buddy Jay Ham actually watched a little high school football last
night. I watched the Germantown-Houston game on a Facebook stream last week. Shout out to my cousin who had the stream rolling from he had to roll the whole game, but I caught up late third quarter, and it was a good contest.
I wish I had known about that.
Good contest.
I was having to just look at updates on Twitter from John Varlos, who did a great job. But man,
shout out to John Varlos because he does a great job in that area. John, have you ever done a show with a guy named Jason on Friday the 13th before today?
Do I know a guy named Jason? Your name's Jason?
Government name, yeah.
What do I call you, by the way?
How about that?
Now I forgot your name.
Only if it was next month.
I know you're the historian. Hold on, you're Jason?
Yeah.
Is it Friday the 13th? Is that what we're saying?
It is.
Man, that thing snuck up on me.
That's why your parlay ain't gonna hit.
Dude, I love that shirt you got on. That's why your parlay ain't hit. That's just hilarious.
I have to troll them, because everybody, they like to ask me, what I'm doing on FanDuel. I'm not doing anything on FanDuel or DraftKings or BetGM or any of those guys.
That's hilarious. I didn't know you had that on your shirt. That is so funny.
I had to troll them, Dakins. I mean, they act, and then they get upset when I don't play. Why you ain't playing? Because I want to watch the game.
Yep. You just are the historian. That's why we bring you in
I
here.
do better in other areas. I don't want to bet $1, or nothing like that. But it's fun. I mean, I don't knock it, have fun.
I know. Trust me. I'm the I wish I had self-control.
If you see my Facebook posts, I will tell them at noon. Following me, it's Lee Sterling.
Oh,
You
dude.
need to listen to that. He will help you hit your parlays.
Man, let me tell you something. We got Lee today at 12 o'clock. I love me some Lee action, and he's got a hell of a card this week.
Following Lee at 12:30, you got my man T-Money and Uncle Brasky. You need to listen to that if you want to hit your parlays.
Man, let me tell you something. Fade Uncle Brasky, bro. But, follow T-Money. By the way, I'm going to say, man, T-Money, man, I love both of them, but I got a little funny thing. If you're going to be listening today at 12:30, I got a clip of Uncle Brasky's uncle. I met Uncle Brasky's uncle in Oxford, and if you think
I haven't
Bill
met Uncle Brasky yet, so we got to make that happen, too.
he's the wildest man I've ever seen in my life.
He got to be if he hanging with T-Money.
Dude, when you're the wildest of that bunch,
I can believe it.
you're buck wild.
I can believe it.
Buck
And
wild.
that's sad because I'm rather tame,
You are chill.
but I get where you're going because I know T-Money.
You're more like indica than sativa. I got to remind everybody to get your tailgate season going now and get it going the right way just by going to Buster's Butcher. Why? At 199 South Highland Street, they have the finest meats, cheeses, prepared foods, so much more. And guess what? It's all perfect for tailgating. Let's say you're going to Houston High School to watch the homecoming tonight. Go get your meats, your cheeses, and all your food at Buster's Butcher because there's nothing like it. While you're over there, why don't you do me a favor and register for the tailgate package that they're giving away at Buster's? We're giving away a $500 tailgate package, no purchase necessary, 1 entry per person. We're going to draw the winner on October 1st.
What's in that tailgate package?
Man, we got a $200 gift certificate straight up for Buster's Butcher, baby. You get you know how I like the big tomahawk steak that I told you about? I feel like I'm Fred Flintstone up in that joint.
Right.
That's what I would go with. If I had the $200 gift certificate, I'm just getting those bad boys. Or the porterhouse is so good. Get them cut about 1 inch thick. Because remember, at Buster's Butcher, they cut everything right there in front of you, baby.
Yeah.
Like it is just, it's just different. They got a $200 gift certificate, and they got this really little cool thing. It's called a Camo Ice Mule. It's a soft cooler, but it's like, since it's the mule, man, I guess it just don't kick. Like, it keeps everything cold 24/7. You throw some ice in there, that's still gonna be in there. Keep your beers cold, and they got 4 Yeti coasters.
See,
Like your girl, how you can be real with your girl. You need a coaster, to be honest with you, because it ain't gonna
we're
last
different
long.
kind of players,
But they sip on them junts.
Yeah, right.
That coaster, especially it's a Yeti, it's going to keep that thing ice
Keep it ice
cold.
cold.
When she's drinking her little high noons and all those little seltzery drinks, you know what I'm saying?
And see, my good friends
Little girl beers.
that's the alumni of Fairleigh High School and Whitehaven High School, they could have used that package last week because they had a fantastic kickback in the back parking lot of the Southland Mall last Saturday. I was out there. Kicking it because those are my people. I didn't go to either school, but those are my people.
I got you, man.
You know?
I'm telling you what, anybody who wants to do a little tailgate and go enter it, and again, if you want the best, go to Buster's Butcher, and then don't forget Buster's Liquor Store, because you can get all the little high noons and girly beers. You can get Tito's handmade vodka, because if life hands you lemons, you don't freak out, Fred, or get even stressed.
No.
You just make a lemon drop. Make sure it's with the best. That's Tito's handmade vodka now. Paid a few bills, baby. Boom, boom, boom. Now I'm ready to gamble. Got to ask the historian. Views from the 22. Florida State, Memphis is going down for real. What side are you on? Memphis right now, plus 6.5 over. And then the total is 52.
Plus 6.5. I saw it as plus 7.
Yeah, but it's gone down some.
I thought that was whack that, we 2-0 Memphis squad going into 0-2 Tallahassee Tech. That's what I refer to Florida State when they're playing like they're playing. They're no longer FSU. They're Tallahassee Tech. Just that simple. Memphis wins this game, and they win outright.
That's about the most disrespectful,
Yeah.
awesome, hating stuff I've heard.
Yeah.
Hayden gets ratings, and that was
And
that
it
was
didn't
straight
start
up
because of
cold-blooded.
Mike Norvell. I was calling them there when Bobby Bowden was still there, too. Tallahassee Tech. Just like with Miami, they're Coral Gables. I forgot. It was like Coral Gables Community Institute or something like that.
Coral Gables Community College.
Yeah, I renamed them.
I love it. But what do you think, realistically? Do you think Memphis is going to come back with that dub, or do you think this is a
think
game
they
that's
do.
going to be tight? You think so?
I think they do. I think Florida State is desperate, which
Let me tell you something. A broke man is a dangerous man,
dangerous
and
man.
a desperate man is scary.
but
Because a desperate
Memphis
man
cats
got
be on
nothing
the
to
prowl.
lose.
I heard Coach, and I agree with Coach on the previous segment. Like they do, they have kind of cut and folded in some of those big games, but I think they do one. I think they do.
They got
one.
Seth Hennigan, who's been playing forever.
Right.
You got my man Mario, who's running downhill. They got weapons, rocks out there. By the way, speaking of rocks, Uncle Brasky, keep him away from them junts.
Can Florida State tackle?
No. That's why I like the over.
And if we're going with the over, I like the chances of Memphis even more. Are we going to put up points?
Okay, you know what? I like that idea because we watched DJU on numerous occasions not be able to put up jack.
Right.
I mean, Boston College and Bill O'Brien owned Florida State in a way that I didn't even think they could. They beat them 28-13, but the score wasn't even close to indicative to how they dominated on both sides. I mean, it was a beatdown.
They won that in the trenches. You know, as we say, views
Boston
from the 22.
College ran for 263 yards and averaged 5.2 yards a carry against Florida State.
That's
okay,
when your beef is winning in the trenches.
Man,
right there.
And let's just, I mean, by the way, Boston College does play Missouri also. And that's one of those games that looks a little interesting.
Wasn't he at Boston College before?
Who, Bill O'Brien?
Right.
No, he wasn't at BC. He was in New England, offensive coordinator, his head coach.
And he was at Penn State for a minute after Paterno, right?
Man, I can't even remember. I just know he's got a butt chin and he's been offensive coordinator.
I think the Patriots Association when he was.
You're the historian. I ate an edible. It's Friday.
I didn't pull it up, you know. And then it's Bill O'Brien. I remember he was with the Texans. I remember he did some other stuff. And we roasted him at Views for the 22 a couple times. But then he got back in good favor with us. So,
yeah, I think he just looks like a Boston College type of coach. He is from Boston, Massachusetts.
And I think the Patriots tie in with that too. Just maybe like, did he coach there before? Well, oh well.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I got you. But, man, I can't tell. I love over 52. Dacus, how are you feeling about the Memphis game, by the way?
I'm pretty scared. I'm not going to lie. I haven't really said that.
Is it because you're scared that Mike Norvell has a desperate team that's had 2 weeks to prepare?
It's all that time they've had to prepare. That's what worries me. And it's at home. Like, I know this team's 0-2, but I mean, going down Doak Campbell or Doak Walker, excuse me. I'm thinking of Camp Randall. That's not easy. And so, I'm a little nervous for this game, but I'm always nervous for you. I'm a pessimist by nature, John. So I'm always nervous about things.
All right. Well, I'm going. Do you like the over 52?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that's probably the right move. I loved last night. I don't know if you watched this game, John. I'm sorry to get us off topic.
I cried last night.
The Arizona State and Texas State game. Holy cow! I had the over in that
Texas State
one.
was going to win that.
It was such a fun game. Really? Offenses were going crazy early.
It was
they
much
shut down
better
the second
than the
half.
NFL game.
Much
Texas
better.
State smoked my cousin in company last week. My cousin plays at Texas San Antonio.
Oh yeah.
And then they
Sure
got
did.
Texas tomorrow.
Ooh,
So
tough.
it's like,
Tough. Shout out Cuzzo.
That is going to be tough. Last night, though, we did watch the Bills and the Dolphins. Again, Texas State, that game was, 31-28, won by a field goal late?
Yeah.
I always have to just double ask because those late, ending games sometimes can be a little hazy. But the Bills last night, Dolphins. Jay, you're a historian. You remember people like, say, Junior Seau. Very, very sad situation.
It's time to go home.
For Tua?
Yeah.
You think there's actually any way in the world that he...
I think he tries to come back, but I don't think it's wise.
How could you walk away from all that money? And plus, not even just the money; it's the competitive nature. Like, you've been playing the game. Their whole football zone is a family business. Football is a family business.
Yeah, you either gonna walk away from it or they're gonna put you in the body bag.
Well, the problem is we're both now old, so we see
he can get money in that family business other than being the quarterback and on the field taking shots too, though.
Yeah, you can't get $212 million.
He can go upstairs. He can coordinate, coach, work with talent. He can do some number of ways. He ain't gonna get that money, but he can still remain in the family business, so to speak.
I guess what we're gonna find out if he retires, if his wife really loves him. Because if he retires and leaves that money on the table and she stays with him, you gotta keep her. If she leaves you, you know what?
Damar
Hamlin.
And just thinking of the fact that this dude literally cheated death, and he's back. You know,
Yeah,
on the
he
field
died on the
himself.
field with the Buffalo Bills.
Right. You know, so it's just, but
And
I
they
don't
were
know-
playing who that night? Was it
They
the Chiefs?
were no, the Bengals.
Yeah, it was the
Right,
Bengals.
it was the Bengals because they saw him a week or two
That's
later
right.
in the playoffs.
Which
too.
that's also crazy because Tua had one of those really bad concussions against
He
Cincinnati.
did.
Yeah.
He did. And that's the thing, though, man. It's like when you mentioned Junior Seau, I can even go back to, I think that was Mike Webster of the Steelers, guys that actually have, like, taken themselves out from the head trauma, you know, later in later years because they just couldn't take the pain no more. I don't want that to be a result of Tua or anybody for that matter. But then I also, being the wrestling guy that I am, head trauma, I think of Chris Benoit, who murdered himself
Yep.
and his whole family.
Yeah,
You know,
I
and
forgot about that.
it's just, you don't want to. Anytime his head hits the deck from this point on,
Well, that's the thing. I know this. I know that. He's 26 years old, though. The thing I'm trying to say is, though, like, at 26 years old, you're not, like, he ain't, you aren't thinking 40 years down the road. At least I know I sure as hell wasn't.
right.
And I know football players, like, you have to drag them off the field. And I just really feel like, his whole family has moved down to Miami. Football is their business.
Yeah. But it's kind of one of those deals, man. You know, where it's like, how far do you let this go?
Unless a neurologist tells him that he's going to die on the field, I don't think he's going to retire.
I agree with you. That's the tough part that's making me cringe about it because you just don't have a good feeling about it. But I don't even want to speak that kind of energy. But it's just
Yeah, because
reality,
we
you know?
like, and the thing is, it was kind of one of those things. He had gotten the first down, get down as a quarterback, but his competitive juices kicked in. You know what I mean? He wanted to get those extra yards. He had thrown a bunch
see,
of
that's
damn
another
picks and
issue.
looked terrible.
That's another issue. Your competitive juice is kicking in also is up here too. It's in your brain, it's in your head, and your head already clouded, dog.
I know mine is. I don't know if he's eating edibles at like 9 in the morning.
It's true. But
Bloody Mary by 10 for breakfast. Get your vitamins in.
But at the same time, you know, and they don't have to be like
Always
a
made with Cheetos.
devastating hit either.
No, that wasn't like, in all honesty, that
Right.
was, that's the thing is Tua, it feels like when he hit his back of his head, like when he got slammed down in the back of his head hit,
Right.
and then he played like a week later, they somehow
Right.
cleared him, and that's when he was the Bengals, and then he hit his head again.
He hit his head again.
And then that's when they had to cart him off the field, and I was just like, that was terrible. But like last night, like, I saw some crazy collisions. And again, this is the NFL. These dudes hit hard.
Yeah.
Like a running back's got to be thinking to myself, damn, like
Train wreck.
train wreck every day, every game,
week, right.
every week. Linebackers, that's your business. His head it's I don't know, man. It's just right now it's fragile.
And it makes me think of other who played that position that suffered that same fate as well. Troy Aikman.
Yep, he
Hall
had
of
to
Fame
retire.
quarterback that was. I think Troy probably would have been a better quarterback if he didn't play with the head trauma as long as he played.
That's a good point.
You know, especially when you got to like the mid and back end of the '90s, or the back end of where his run was. He was still good, but you know he was taking a lot of shots, and his head was a lot of loopy. It's still amazing that Troy is able to really be an analyst and commentator that he is at that level with the lot of head trauma that he suffered through. Michael Vick's head used to bounce off the turf a lot when he was in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of in a way that Tua was doing as well. Who else went through that a lot?
Man,
A lot of shots to the head, just in general. Or the heads bouncing off the turf, and then we're talking about the quarterback position.
The first one that comes to my mind is Jim McMahon.
Who actually didn't he get like some process where he's actually getting it fixed or some
Trying,
sort?
no, he's doing terrible. Like he's doing terrible.
But that was when they made the documentary.
Oh,
they
yeah,
were showing right 30 for 30 on the 85 Bears. I'm gonna watch that one again. That was a good doc too.
That was a good one.
But it was just the way that it was going through it. But as you point to it, years later, he's not in good shape at all. So it's rough, man. And then naturally you think of Junior Seau blew his own brains out. Mike Webster blew his own brains out. Couldn't take the pain no more. And that's the stuff that, you know, that scares you about it. And it makes you think, how long will football last? And then you quickly snap out, hey, football ain't going nowhere. It's America.
And by the way, you know, I know a lot of people out there, like, because I know when I was a young person, I remember when my dad would hit, like, it was like 40, I was like, damn, he's so old. You got still a lot of good living after 40.
Oh, yeah.
Like, life ain't all that bad, man.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's actually a little more fun.
Right.
I don't get nearly as much trouble.
I tell cats our age, I'm like, yo, they get upset, especially with our people. They like, you know, don't be calling me Ark. No, I'm cool with Ark. I'm an OG, except my OG status. You know, it is what it is.
We got the historian on. We're going to take a quick time out. We got to talk about a few more games, and then don't forget Paramount Sports Lee Sterling's at 12. We got T-Money Uncle Brasky at 12:30, and then we're going to close it out with my final picks. Don't you dare touch that dial. It's a Friday on Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11, here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Hey everybody, it's Chevy truck season, and together let's drive to All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch, where all the Chevy trucks are. Every new Silverado you're looking for, it's here, so come on down and drive a few. Financing as low as 1.9 and no payments for 90 days. Yes, that's 0 payments for 90 days, and your good credit deserves it. And just in time for tailgating season at the next game, All-Star Chevy has the best tailgating Tahoes. If you're in law enforcement, first responder, healthcare, military, education, recent grad, you get a $500 bonus. Come check out this huge, and I'm talking huge, pre-owned selection. Jeeps, Fords, Nissans, Toyotas, cargo vans, a ton of pre-owned Silverados. And if you got any vehicle you want to sell, bring it here to All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch and get the most money for it today. So don't miss this Chevy truck season sale going on right now in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevy, or check out allstarautogroup.com.
If you love sports and Mexican food, you can get the best of both at Los Cabos Mexican Bar and Grill on Summer near Graham. Watch all the big games on all the big TVs on all the walls at Los Cabos. And enjoy premium tequila shots anytime for just $5.50. Celebrate every day with lunch specials from 10 to 3 and happy hour from 3 to 8. Lunch is just $6.75 to $10.99 and margaritas start at $3.99. Experience real Mexican cuisine along with great sports at Los Cabos on Summer near Graham. East Memphis Ace Hardware is more than just a hardware store. It's really a customer service store with 20 employees along with complete inventory of items. They deliver. Finding what you need is easy. Choosing from a complete selection of Big Green Egg as well as Traeger and Weber grills. And the Garden Center has everything for your yard. You can get glass cutter, screens, and your keys with Key Fun programming. Tools, nuts, bolts, screws. You need it. East Memphis Ace Hardware has them. And they're just down the street at the corner of Ridge and White Station.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour brought to you by Buster's Butcher at 199 South Highland, where every cut is the right cut. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Happy Friday, everybody. I mean, happy Friday. Memphis is on the road playing a little Florida State. Titans are going to be at home playing the New York Jets. Two terrible-looking football teams in Week 1. Bears played so bad in Week 1, man. Caleb Williams couldn't do nothing, and yet the Titans lost because they just stupid. That broke my heart, by the way.
That was
Obviously.
a wild loss. I watched that one back.
Man, how
the
do you
other
not
day.
score offensive? Don't score one offensive touchdown and lose because you got a block punt, because you got Will Levis throwing underhand stuff, pick sixes. That was painful. By the way, speaking of painful, we were talking about the concussions. And I got to tell you, man, I forgot to, Steve Young is the dude who had a lot of concussions.
That's really what I forgot. The one who should have mentioned. Really.
And then also, man, don't forget Brett Favre had a lot of them. In fact, he had so many concussions, that man started stealing Mississippi welfare checks.
That's almost as bad as Chris Benoit, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like Benoit murdered his family. This dude here, you stealing from the good. You stealing from your own people.
You still, for the poorest in the community.
Oh God!
Yeah, I'm telling you, that was one too many.
Brett Favre and Hulk Hogan. I tell you.
Dadgummit, I just almost went completely off kilter. I did want to bring up, though, some action that's going on this week in the National Football League. I know you're going to be playing a little views from the 22, right?
Yes, sir. YouTube.com/the word cultured, the number 1 with the S behind the 1. We are the cultured ones from views from the 22.
Now, 88% of teams that are 0-2, that start 0-2, miss the playoffs. You've got the Browns and the Jags. The Jags are at home. Jags are a 3-point favorite. Both teams desperate, but none so desperate like Deshaun Watson, who can't stop getting sexual assault charges coming up against him and stuff. Who you think's going to come out on this, man? The Browns? Like, they got a stacked defense, but, man, that offense was so terrible. And then the Jags, man, they were just right there, just kind of couldn't hold on in week 1.
Hold on, right.
So who you got?
Free Myles Garrett, get him out of Cleveland. Get everybody that's worth something out of Cleveland. I don't know what it is.
I still can't believe, though. Like, I don't know how much respect I have for Jacksonville losing a close one to the Dolphins.
It's kind of, I don't know.
That's a tough
energy.
one.
Yeah.
South Florida energy. And
Tyreek Hill with the score.
Yeah, after he got pulled over that morning. So that
Right.
was, and then we have another game, man. You got Colts. They're 0-1 on the season. Packers 0-1 in the season. Packers' complete season right now feels in trouble with Jordan Love and the whole situation. And remember this number. If you start 0-2, since 1990, 88% of the teams that start 0-2 miss the playoffs. So who you got?
And that one...
Man, I don't know how you don't take AR, Anthony Richardson. My goodness.
How I don't take him?
I love Shane Steichen. I love Anthony Richardson. I'll
say this. That's the game of the early slate games that I'm looking forward to the most.
See what happens in Lambeau.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to NFL Red Zone. I had to get back on that package last week, man. Get that rolling. I love the Red Zone stuff, man. It keeps me engaged all the way. But I'm going to go with the Pack at home on that one. The Colts going to be a solid squad, though, man. I like that game they had last week with Houston. That was my game of the week.
Well, the two bums that I don't think either team has a chance to make the playoffs, but one team will be 1-1. You have the terrible Giants against the terrible defending Commanders.
Do they still have ties in the NFL?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's what I'm going to leave with
sir.
That. I don't want to play that one. All the thing I know about this, John, that either one, whether one is 1-1 or we got 1-1, neither one of them ain't going. We won't see them in January.
It's also kind of crazy to think about the Bengals right now. They're 0-1 on the season. They're on the road to play the Chiefs. Can they start 0-2 and come back in that AFC North?
They don't need to.
They better not. But right now, I feel comfortable with the Kansas City Chiefs going this Sunday. Man.
But I will say this. When Joe Burrow has had slow starts in the years that they made the playoffs, they started slow then, too.
It's true.
It's just one of those where we'll see how it unfolds.
Man, we got NFL. We've got college football. We got so much more because Lee Sterling from Paramount Sports, he's next on Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Basketball skills to the next level at Shoot 360 Memphis. Shoot 360 is a revolutionary basketball training facility that combines cutting-edge technology with gamification and provides instant, objective feedback with hands-on, one-on-one expert coaching. And now, introducing Shoot 360 Cordova, a newly renovated 50,000 square foot facility with 2 NBA regulation-sized courts, 3 high school-sized courts, and 4 shooting bays with Shoot 360 technology. Memberships are now on a monthly basis. And yes, you can become a member at both locations. Whether you're an aspiring young talent, NBA player, or looking for a unique workout, all skill levels are welcome at Shoot 360 Memphis to learn proper shooting and passing techniques, improve fundamentals, and gain a competitive edge while having fun. Shoot 360 Memphis, now in Cordova and Collierville. Call them today at 901-779-3176. That's 901-779-3176. The future future of basketball training is here. Shoot 360 Memphis.
Summer's heating up, and so are the savings at Choate's. We've got 3 incredible offers to make your season spectacular. First up, our Grill and Chill with Choate's Summer Special. Upgrade your HVAC system and choose between a free Yeti cooler or a Green Egg grill on select systems. Then power through any outage with Choate's generators. Be one of the first 50 customers to buy a generator and score a massive 75-inch TV or an iPad. Also, don't forget about our tankless water heater offer. Purchase a tankless water heater from Choate's and receive a premium toilet free. Don't wait. These offers are too good to last. Turn to the experts with Choate's and call 347-8086 or visit us online today for your free estimate. Now introducing Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, Plumbing, and Generators. Choate's. Let our family serve your family.
You know our trusted partner TireRack.com for their fast, free shipping, free road hazard protection, convenient installation options, and their great selection of best tires, like the highly consumer-rated Yokohama Avid Ascend LX. But did you know they sell other automotive products? Wheels, brakes, suspension, just to name a few. Go to TireRack.com/Colin. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
Simple, smooth, and every sip is easy as the last. Tito's handmade vodka tastes just as good with tap water as it does your favorite mixers. Back in the day, Tito distilled, hand-bottled, taste-tested, sent out to a few friends, then taste-tested again to give you the finest juice around. No frills, no flavors, no fancy labels, just the good stuff, just Tito's. For recipes, videos, and more, visit Tito'sVodka.com. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, mainly 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, with Dave Woloshin, weekday mornings from 10 to 11.
That is one of those things. When things get too heavy, just call me helium.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Happy Friday, everybody. I am so fired up, man. And we're talking some big, big games because we have the man. He ain't no myth. He is a living legend. Lee Sterling of ParamountSports.com. Make sure you get this down, jot it down, listen to him. He's giving plays, but make sure you join his service. And he joins us now. Lee, happy Friday, my friend.
Rough Friday after Tua going down. Really rough.
That was painful to watch. We've been talking about it, and I kind of now want to get your take. I say, because and again, this is just using my own personal experience. That's the only thing you can really draw on. Just when you're 26 years old and you just sign a $212 million contract, and you want to be out there on that field. A lot of people are saying he needs to retire, he should retire, he's going to retire. I'm just saying I don't think he's going to because there's just, I mean, at 26 years old, you don't see 10, 15, 20, let alone 40 years down the road.
No, when he's walking around and he's just practicing, once the headaches go away, he's probably going to be, he thinks he's going to be fine. But that was not even a hit. I mean,
no kidding.
I took hundreds of hits, helmet to helmet, that were far more vicious than that. That was a nothing.
I said last night, right when it happened, I was like, man, there's probably a lot of running backs around the country going, man, how's that happen with him? There's just something different about what's going on with his head. Because he's had now 5 major concussions, but it seems with each one it gets a little bit worse.
And I'm hearing maybe it's now, 8 to 12 weeks. That's what someone just said. I think he's guaranteed includes 167 million guaranteed for injury.
Well, it'd be easier to walk away with that guarantee.
So I'm looking at the details. 43 million has been paid in 2024. So he has 124 million still due to him. So let's say that's $40 million a year. That's the next 3 years. The Dolphins are done. It's like an NBA team when you lose your superstar. People are like, oh, well, you can still be good. If you're lucky to make the playoffs in the NBA without your best player, you're done. You're out first round.
Yeah, and last night Skyler was terrible.
Terrible. If they go with Skylar Thompson for the rest of the season, the ceiling is probably 7 games tops.
There's a lot of people out there who are looking and wishing they had that Miami under after the way this season started.
What about Ryan Tannehill? He could get the call.
You know what? That's actually, at least he's serviceable. Go back to Miami where he started his career.
Yeah.
That's a damn good idea right there. Now, I got to bring up some other games that we're about to gamble on because I know I'm a big Ole Miss fan. We're the home of the Ole Miss network. We play the Rebels. They're on the road against Wake Forest. That bad boy is 23.5 right now. Which way you leaning?
You know, if normally you would say Wake Forest at home, they can score some. The thing is, Wake Forest, they don't have any elite players anymore. Anyone who's any good started last year with NIL. Sam Hartman left. No difference makers on defense. Bunch of, mediocre guys on offense. I think the ceiling is 17 to 20 points on offense. And to cover a big spread, you got to have playmakers. And Ole Miss has them at quarterback, running back, and receiver. So I have Ole Miss winning this game 51-20. It's not like the crowd is going to get into it. They get 20,000-25,000 people that kind of mill around, and they're not the beer drinking group. This is more like the wine sipping crowd at Wake Forest.
Yeah, I love Jackson Dart. He's almost got 800 yards and 6 touchdowns. Trey Harris is ridiculous. Juice Wells. I like Ole Miss as well, man. Thank goodness you made me feel a little bit better about my play. I appreciate that, Lee. Now, let's move on to our next game, Alabama against Wisconsin. Now, Alabama looked terrible for 3 3/3 of the game and then exploded in the last couple minutes. They go on the road as 16-point favorites again in Whiskey. Who you got?
Yeah, so I'm looking at Wisconsin. I'm like, okay, let me figure out Wisconsin. Home, usually underdog, pretty solid defense. But what they're trying to do on offense, they hired Phil Longo last year to be their offensive coordinator from North Carolina. So what did they do? They decided on Tanner Mordecai from SMU. Tanner, the year before, threw for 35 touchdowns at SMU. Last year he throws for 9. That's it. This year they bring in Tyler Van Dyke from Miami.
And he was terrible in Miami.
Not good. And first 2 games he's thrown for 192 and 214 yards against Western Michigan and South Dakota. Are you kidding me? One touchdown in the 2 games. So if you watch Alabama's defense, I think their weakness is their cornerbacks, their young cornerbacks. You got to put some pressure on them, either running the football or going after these 2 guys. Wisconsin's receivers get absolutely no separation. Their running back from last year was good, Braylon Allen. He moved on to the NFL. I just don't think this offense is any good here. So for some reason, I think these young receivers, or for receivers in another program, they realize, I'm not coming to Wisconsin. The last good receiver was Al Toon. Bama's not going to lose 3 fumbles like last week here. Alabama pulls away 35-13.
35-13, roll Tide. Oh, man, I got a couple buddies out there who just love you right now and a couple of Tennessee fans who don't. But, man, Georgia minus 24 playing Kentucky. Kentucky, they got beat so bad that now game day's actually in South Carolina. Now they got to face Georgia. And, by the way, the little quarterback for Kentucky, where he couldn't start was at Georgia. He had to transfer out, and he's seen that defense, and he knows how scary, ugly it is. Is this going to be an absolute beatdown, or is Kentucky going to be able to dig down deep?
Okay, so here's what's interesting. Line is at like 24 points. The public wants to see Brock Vandagriff obviously face his old mates. That's the storyline for the game. Talked to a kid who played for Kentucky, and I said, what's going on with, how are practices, after you got to win when you're playing a team that's not so good, and told me the intensity when they are an underdog is way up at practice. and it kind of makes sense. I mean, whenever they're a favorite, they just don't perform that well. I mean, they played down to the level of competition. Their offense was horrible last week. They had trouble completing passes. South Carolina played well. So if they had won that game by 7 points, and Georgia, let's say, only won by 10 points against Clemson, the fine would be 16, 17 points. That's why it's so high. Now, also on top of that, Georgia beat Kentucky last year, 51-13. But let's look at the 4 years before that, and when maybe Georgia was even better. They won all 4 games, but their high score was 30. And in 2 of the 4 games, they only scored 13 and 16 points. I think Kentucky's going to come to play. I think they're going to try to run the ball, shorten the game a little bit here, play ball control. They're 15-11-1 against the spread as a road dog. I'm going to go with the value here. I think Kentucky is going to play better this week. This is one of those you hold your nose or hold your breath as long as possible. Georgia 38-17, Kentucky gets the cover.
Missouri's all the way up at 6th in the country. Boston College is now in the top 25. Bill O'Brien looks like he's got that team. They just ran right down Florida State's throat. How good is Missouri? Are they good enough to cover this large spread? I think it's set at, 16 points? 17 points.
It is. I love the nickname. I mean, the death row defense, it is incredible. I love the name. They're going for the 3rd straight shutout. Can they get it? I think it's going to be tough. Bill O'Brien may not be a great head coach, wasn't real good, also picking personnel when he was with the Texans, but really good offensive mind, and he'll call the plays. Got a dual-threat quarterback in Thomas Castellanos, and they've already played a road game. They played at Florida State, which should help them here. So I just think that they're saying, okay, we can't have 14, 15 possessions. We're going to shorten the game. We're going to run the ball a lot. And if we can make this an 8-9 possession game, then Missouri's got to beat us by 3 touchdowns. That's pretty tough. So Missouri's offense does have weapons, but I'm watching Boston College, and their defense looks bigger, stronger, and faster. The weightlifting crew that was there, they ended up moving on and moving to the Cincinnati Bengals. So just something to take note of.
Legit.
Yeah, they might have some problems down the road. They were not good last year on defense. This defensive line for Boston College is pretty good. Missouri wins 34-24. Boston College covers.
Boston College with the cover. Bill O'Brien, man, he's changing a little something up there with them Eagles. But, man, Missouri, that death row defense, like you said, that's the coldest name in college football for a defensive unit, is it not?
I love it.
I do, too. Florida State, man, right now, I kind of like, I like Mike Norvell. I respect the hell out of Mike Norvell. If you look at some of the staffs, like guys that have been on Mike Norvell's staff, it's absolutely ridiculous. But they're playing Memphis, and, that's where I went to school. Yep. And I like Ryan Silverfield's crew. I like Seth Hennigan. I like this team. Florida State right now is 6.5-point favorite. Do you have a feel on this one?
I do. I think that if I'm right, Florida State, probably Mike Norvell, he said, you know what? Let me get my offensive coordinator together with DJ Uiagalelei, and let's find out. It's not like they can go to another quarterback now. They obviously have no trust in anyone. They're probably saying, DJ, what are the 15, 20 plays you feel most comfortable running? And they're going to try to work off that. They had a week to regroup. I think the bye week should certainly help them. And once they do that, they have to realize they're a run-based team. I'm watching the spring game, and I'm saying, first note I took is they cannot end up passing the ball around to set up the run. So DJ's not playing in the NFL. So he was a runner, mainly, when he was at Clemson the first year or two. Mm-hmm. Put him back on the ground, do a lot of RPO here. Memphis has not really been tested yet. They played Northern Alabama and Troy. They only had 367 total yards versus Northern Alabama, and 372 against Troy with just 59 rushing yards. Troy is in a total rebuild. They only returned like 4 or 5 starters from last year. Almost every starter was a backup last year. When you watch that team They're devoid of talent here. Memphis wins this game. All they have left is South Florida and Tulane. I'm rooting for them. I just have a feeling it's now or never for FSU, and I'm going to take the Fighting Norvells. I like Florida State here, 28-17.
Breaks my heart, but it doesn't. The logic makes sense because I was talking earlier, and they always say a broke man's a dangerous man, but a desperate man is a scary man, and this is a desperate team. Mike Norvell with that extra week, you got to feel like he's going to try and put something together, and like you said, I think DJ is going to run the ball a hell of a lot more, and I think it's going to be one thing I will say. I think it's also going to be a shootout.
Could happen. I mean, but I think it's going to be Florida State running the football.
I'm so scared. Now, the one thing I can tell you I'm never scared is when I go to ParamountSports.com, I love to watch his videos because Lee's got videos galore. He's got all kinds of things to help you, but what he does help you with is winning on the weekend. His packages are all up there. You call 800-400-9741. You can get it. And right now, you got a free play out there, Mississippi State minus 11.5 versus Toledo. How can they get this for absolutely free?
This is a game here. Is it going to be a blowout, or can Toledo pull off the shocker? I have a real strong opinion on this game. First 10 callers to call 800-400-9741, I'm going to give them the game for free. 800-400-9741, I will give them Mississippi State Toledo on me. And big weekend. We're going to have probably 9 to 13 games, college football and the NFL combined. We've got a game. We call it the Underdog Shocker going this weekend. You want to get that. In the UFC, 5 selections in the Sphere. First time they have ever fought there. 5 selections, $57. Everything's up and available. Check it out. Hop on board. No, only place to win here, ParamountSports.com.
Man, I will say that UFC card in the Sphere is going to be ridiculous, man. That's going to be a wild event. Go to ParamountSports.com. Give him a call again, 800-400-9741. Have a blessed weekend, Lee. We'll do it again next Friday.
You too, Johnny. Take care, buddy.
That is my buddy, Lee Sterling. Now, Mr. Brian Dacus, I got a couple games I was talking about and thinking about, and I'm going to give people my opinion, and I'm going to ask you yours because I'm looking at Florida and A&M. And DJ Lagway came in and kind of gave Florida a little bit of hope. Did you see some of those throws that young man made? I mean, you can tell he's going to be the future and he's the truth. Now, Graham Mertz is coming back from a concussion. Of course, Billy Napier doing gamesmanship is not going to, show his cards. Like, that's just not how it's going to work. So, he said just as much. This A&M Florida game, I think, is going to be really sneaky good because you got 2 teams that I say are both desperate. Both of them are desperate. Billy Napier has got to have this one. His seat is just so deadgum hot. Now, DJ is going to help give a little bit of hope for the future. But if he doesn't come out there and perform well, if Graham Mertz comes in there and doesn't perform well at home in Gainesville at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium against Texas A&M, it's going to get really loud and it's going to get really nasty. Thing is weird, though, is A&M is a 3-point favorite. A&M is also desperate because I don't think Mike Elko, after you lose to Notre Dame and then they lose to Northern Illinois, you're like, what is that? And the last week, all they played was McNeese State. Now, they put Connor Wegman in better positions to be successful. I'll have to say, when I look at this game, I just think to myself, there's more talent on A&M's roster. Coaching, I don't know enough. Elko, he was that was a very underwhelming game offensively when they played Notre Dame. McNeese State's a totally different thing. Going on the road. And again, I just kind of feel like Graham Mertz, I know he cleared concussion protocol, and he played really, really good last year. I know the future's DJ, and I just kind of wonder how they're going to work this because I have a feeling that we're going to see both quarterbacks. And what do we like to say? When you have 2 quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks. DJ Lagway is the future. But if he does play, I feel like against his A&M defense, he's going to go out there and he's really, really going to struggle. I just think yes, he looked great in everything that he did. But, Florida last week, the team that he looked great against, that was the Sanford Bulldogs. This is Texas A&M.
That's right.
I don't trust the freshmen out there. I feel like laying 3 feels easy to me for Texas A&M. I know it's on the road, but man, I just don't think the talent's there. I don't think the coaching's there. I don't trust it. I like Texas A&M. I kind of like Texas A&M big.
I like that. Interesting.
I think they win. I mean, we saw what happened to Florida against Miami when they played somebody that had a heart, just a pulse.
Sure.
They got beat 41-17. Do you realize that? Miami looked like world beaters.
Is who's starting for them at quarterback?
Billy Napier said he
said?
will not say. He said that Graham Mertz has cleared concussion protocol and has been practicing. He also said that DJ Lagway has been.
Lagway's got some juice. I mean, he
Juice.
looked good. But again, like you said,
Stanford
sure.
Bulldogs.
Sure. But I mean,
This is Texas A&M, man. I'm telling
agree.
you. Like when he did a couple of those little play action passes.
But I also saw Graham Mertz against Miami. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it might not be a terrible idea to just try something new.
We also saw Graham Mertz at Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just crazy. He actually had a really good year last year with Florida.
Yeah,
I never
isn't
thought
that
it was gonna
crazy? I
happen.
mean, before last year, it was, Graham Mertz, please. I mean, even Billy Napier came out and said after spring ball, we're open. If somebody wants to come in and transfer, we're open. And then he played last year. He was good. Now this offseason, everyone's like, Graham Mertz is the guy. And now after one game, we're all questioning it again.
I really like A&M. I love over 52 with Florida State and Memphis. I think the best bet, though, that I have on the board, no Cam Rising, Isaac Wilson, Zach Wilson's little brother playing quarterback, Utah without Cam, it's just a totally different offense. Utah State scored 0 points against USC. 0. I think under 43.5 feels like I don't think this game gets, I don't think 24, 28 points in this ball game complete. I don't think Utah State's going to be able to score on Utah, and Utah is going to do everything to run the football, run the clock, win with defense. You know that's what they're going to do.
John, can I throw a game out to you that I just want to throw it out here? I may or may not have picked this game for my lock for our First National Bank and Trust Friday Football Forecast, 5:30 this afternoon. Make sure you tune in for all our picks. Iowa at home against Troy. They're a 23-point favorite. I saw Troy last week.
They're terrible.
Troy's team's not good. Now they're going up against, they put up, 17 points against Memphis?
They won't score against Iowa.
They're going up against probably the best defense in college football, and you're going to go up against an Iowa team that's going to be pissed off because they just lost their big rivalry last week to Iowa State. Only 23.5. Now we see this Iowa team this year can score, and which has been different from the last couple of years.
A little McNamara, a little kid from Michigan,
That's what I'm
looked pretty
saying.
decent.
Like, I kind of like the Iowa minus 23.
1 point loss is so Iowa, by the way.
Exactly.
Like losing a 2019 game is so Iowa. I kind of like that. Coming off a big loss, hey, desperate team, a pissed off team.
That's right.
Going to go out there and punch somebody in the face. Now, I'm going to tell you something, man. I don't want you to be like punching nobody's in the face. I just want you to feel good. Because you know what? When you look good, you feel good. You know who I believe said that first? I think it was Prime. He's like, when I look good, I feel good. When I feel good, I play good. That's why he was always dripping back in the day. Well, if you want to drip with all the wonderful fall fashions, go to Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road down in Olive Branch. They can dress everybody in your family. They have a lovely ladies' boutique. They have the largest boot showroom on planet Earth. They have a men's section. So extensive, they have every kind of jeans from Ariat all the way to Wrangler. You know how many letters are in between the A and the dub? Like, serious. They got you covered from head to toe, and they'll make your kids look cute as a button. Go to Frontier Western Store down in Olive Branch, 5880 Goodman Road, or shop online at frontierwesternstore.com. Frontier Western Store, family-owned and operated since 1961. Now, we've been talking a little bets. I'm leaning big time on A&M. I like it over in the Florida State-Memphis game. I love the Utah State. Utah under 43.5. And we also like a lot of Lee's plays, of course. I'll be getting those as well this week. So hopefully he continues his winning ways like he always does, and we tear things up. But we have two degenerates who are coming up to join us here in a minute.
Are we going to break right now?
No, not this very second, no. But in
okay. Can I throw out a story real quick?
Is it
John?
a good one?
Yeah, because we're not doing hardwood today. Can I
Oh,
throw out a
you
story?
got some wood?
Kind of. It's more sportsy than we usually do.
You
with
know what?
hardwood.
You don't usually come with the wood.
Well, I saw this, and I couldn't stop laughing when I read it, and I immediately thought of you when I read this. I don't know if you saw this story last night, but the Twins released a minor league catcher, Derek Bender,
For
last
tipping
night
pitches.
after the team found out he was telling opposing hitters what pitch was coming in a game that eliminated his
From the
team
playoffs.
from playoff contention. So they've got this. He was just drafted, so I'm guessing like single A catcher.
6th-round pick. Dude's got talent. Thing is, dude, like that's the dumbest move I've ever heard anybody
Kids
pull
sitting
in
back
my
there
life.
like, man, I've been back here all year long. These games don't matter. The Twins don't care if we go to the playoffs or not. I'm ready for some time off. Fastball coming in. Hey, curveball. They found
Derek
out. Get out of
Bender-
here.
The Derek
That is
Bender
hilarious.
is the young guy, and again, like they said, Twins cut him for tipping
That
pitches.
is so funny.
But I mean, like it's like one of those things for me. Like you can't, man. If I'm a pitcher and I found out, like we're fighting after.
Oh,
the game.
man.
I'm
Oh,
talking
man.
About, I mean, it's going down.
I wonder what did it say? What game it
Dude,
was?
in the second inning, they started figuring out when like their great pitcher gave up 4 runs off of like 4 smashes in a row.
Yeah, so it should be easy to find if you can find this team's games. And
He was picked by
he
the
didn't have a
way,
really good season.
188th overall.
He's batting 200 this year. Only 60 ABs
Yeah, man.
released. It already says released on there.
Like,
That's hilarious.
bro. And again, like this dude, I mean, this is what also kind of crazy to me. Did you see that this minor league kid, 188th pick, was making $320,000?
Holy cow.
Were you shocked?
Yeah.
I almost fell over when I saw that.
Good for him.
Well, now he's got a lot of time on his hands.
Sure does.
I bet he doesn't have any money in the bank in 2 months.
That's too bad for him.
Probably going to the Sphere in Vegas to party and watch a little UFC. But we got to take a time out because we have T-Money, Uncle Brasky. I do want to remind you, though, it's Friday. Get your Tito's on. Stop by Buster's Liquor Store and grab the best liquor in the world. No frills, no flavors, no fancy labels. It's just the good stuff. It's just the juice, baby. It's Tito's handmade vodka.
John, I don't blame him. If I'm gonna guess this was the second game of a doubleheader.
Second game of a doubleheader?
I don't blame him. He's been back there all day. He's ready to go home. He's ready for the season to be over. Hey man, fastball coming. Please knock this out of the park. I do not want to play in the playoffs.
Dude, man, well, I will say I think he's regretting it right now. You can't do that, man. You're a catcher, bro. You're supposed to help your pitchers. You can't hurt them, bro. That is just terrible. T-Money, Uncle Brasky on the other side. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Memphis, it's official. Crab King Seafood is where it's at. For the most flavored seafood and the biggest plates, run to a Crab King's near you. Visit the Bartlett Cordova location at 7140 Stage Road. The price, the portions, the service is why Crab King's is #1. So don't be disappointed in seafood. Make the right choice the first time and every time. Make it Crab King's. Crab King's have only locally grown catfish. Come and devour tasty snow crabs, king crab, shrimp, salmon, catfish, calamari, and so much more. Enjoy Memphis's best tasting pasta with your choice of toppings. Visit the Bartlett Cordova location at 7140 Stage Road. Crab King's is open Wednesday through Sunday. Enjoy 50% off lunch portions and dollar fountain drinks. The #1 name in Cajun seafood is Crab King Seafood, a Memphis favorite. Crab King, 7140 Stage Road. Kings with the Z.
I felt like we were really lucky to have a place like Genesis. There are several jewelry stores, I know, but I don't think any of them can match up to Genesis.
Meet Beth Gear, another thrilled Genesis Diamonds customer.
Yeah, the whole experience was wonderful. I felt really super comfortable, and I felt confident that we were getting the best deal for the money, too.
But for Beth, it was more than just getting a great price.
I'd say the value was extraordinary. Even if the price had been slightly more, I think we would have still chosen Genesis just because we felt that there really was a personal connect. We felt like they really wanted us to be happy.
Genesis Diamonds, where you and your budget are respected from the minute you walk in.
No matter what your budget is, Genesis will work with you. They never make you feel uncomfortable if you don't have a budget. They are very respectful of our budget and need to stay within it.
Discover the Genesis difference, where ring will be
PayPal debit card now earns you 5% cash back in the monthly category of your choosing. Groceries, restaurants, health, beauty, gas, and apparel on up to $1,000 of monthly purchases. For me, it's apparel for online shopping with my busy travel schedule during football season. Sign up for the PayPal debit card through the new app.
Terms apply. See PayPal app. This card is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A., pursuant to license by MasterCard International, Inc.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. In these uncertain economic times, there are so many things as a contractor and a business owner that I cannot control. The rising cost of materials, not to mention fuel and transportation costs. In the last 2 years, shingle prices have almost doubled, and commercial materials have doubled. And I don't have to tell you what fuel costs these days. But you know what I can control? How much markup I put on a project. I have always prided myself in knowing I never gouge a customer. But in an effort to ensure my crews have work and my customers are being treated fairly, I have lowered my profit margin, hoping to give you a price you can live with and keeping my crews busy. So if you need a roof or gutters, please give us a call. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. Fiveash Roofing, a proud sponsor of Tiger Athletics and a member of the Tigers home team. 367-0050 or MemphisRoofer.com. 367-0050 or MemphisRoofer.com.
So you need to sell your house? I have the solution. Call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill and I buy houses. Any house, any area, as is. It's literally as simple as that. Just pick up your phone. Call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill and I buy houses. Guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your house fast, call Bill at 901-406-1101. That's Bill and I buy houses.
4.9-liter V8, 0 to 60, and I'm about to find out.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy, Johnny Radio. Happy Friday, everybody. I hope life is treating you as good as it is treating me. We are going to be gambling like rock stars. By the way, you know we have a big game tonight as well. I'm sure Uncle Brasky, who, like, he has to put some action on every single day, every single, like 365 days a year. I don't know if there's 2 days that don't have gambling, but if there are, he's at the casinos doing something kind of degenerate style, to be honest with you. But tonight we have Arizona and Kansas State. I got a nice lean for that. But we're going to get T-Money and Uncle Brasky's plays here in just 1 second. But I have to bring up something very important. I met Uncle Brasky's uncle last week in Oxford. Great hair, just like Uncle Brasky. He's old. I mean, Uncle Brasky's old. This dude's older. Both had great hair. But you would not believe the conversation. So I had to record a little bit of this. This is meeting Uncle Brasky's uncle.
Howdy. You may not be able to tell it now, but there's a time in my life when I was down so low, a mosquito wouldn't even bite me. I lost my job, my four-wheel drive. I even got thrown out of my trailer. All because of one thing, freebasing cocaine. That's all my life was basing, nothing else. I was on that last lap with that checkered flag about to weigh me on into hell, but I got lucky. I got in a rehab program down there at Redstone Arsenal, down there in Alabama, and with them people helping me, well, that smoky white devil is no longer a part of my life.
Hallelujah.
And I can proudly say it today.
I mean, but by the way, I'm so glad that smoky white devil ain't with him no more, but let me just tell you a little something. I got to say, a little bit shocked that he started telling me this the first time I ever met him.
It's strange.
Like,
but I guess he's just so happy about it.
I was like, bro, like that. Like, I don't know if you know, but this is the first time we met. You telling me that you were a crack addict. Uncle Brasky, man. What's up with your uncle?
Man, he still dreams about that shit every day. You know that. I mean, that man, whenever somebody says that, they're still dreaming about that. He just wishes he could get back out there with Hunter Biden, man.
Nobody had a bigger rock. I can guarantee that. T-Money, how are you doing on this Friday?
Johnny,
I don't like you putting my relatives out on the radio like that when they've been freebasing cocaine.
Hey man, listen, let me tell you something. That's the first time I ever met him, and he just started like telling me all that stuff. I was like, bro, I got to record
Well, now
this.
you know how family reunions get.
Yep.
They
Mine are
get
totally
wild.
mine are not like that. No, my family reunions are a lot of fun.
I mean, our family reunions, we usually got cooler of beer. Somebody's talking about a fish tail. Somebody caught too big of a fish. Usually the fish is too big that you really didn't catch a fish that big. You never saw that buck. That buck was not that big. First off, you know, they're talking about they've seen big bucks in Ohio and this and that. They do got big bucks in Ohio, but they don't have big bucks over there in West Virginia, and they don't have big bucks down here in Tennessee because of the hills. You know, the hill, they're more lean down here.
Because you got to walk up
Ohio,
a damn hill.
You got the big bucks up in the Midwest because they eat on the corn and all that. They get real big.
Man, well, thank you so much for educating me on bucks.
Well, we got deer season coming up in it, Uncle Brasky. Uncle Brasky's got deer camp.
Oh, yeah, we go to deer camp every year, man. That's nothing like firearms and alcohol. That's a good mixture to have going at all times, you know.
You know,
Uncle Brasky carried me over there one time, and they got like 3 bunk beds on one side. There's only 2 rooms in this place, and there's a little room when you first walk in. They got one of them TVs with the bunny ears on it and about 3 channels, and then they got 3 bunk beds on one side and 3 bunk beds on the other side. Can you imagine 6 grown men in there with their CPAP machines on, clowning up in there to draw?
That's why we got a generator. So we run them things out there.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, we had to get a generator so those boys could get their CPAP machines going.
Oh, my goodness. Getting old is terrible for the Uncle Braskys of the world. Oh, my Lord. So when does deer season start?
Well, it actually starts this weekend, bow season. And then, you know, I don't get out there with a bow and mosquitoes. I quit that. I'm too old to be out there with that. But about the 1st of November, muzzleloader will come in, and I'll get out there and get me 1 or 2. And then it'll go all the way till about the middle of January with gun season.
You know what?
Gun season will start.
I just realized something, Nebraska. I just realized something. You're blaming your family members' CPAP machines while you got electricity out at your little hunting lodge. You've never gone anywhere without your blow dryer.
No, I gotta have that too, because you know we gotta go up to the Moose Lodge and chase the ladies around. So I gotta blow dry my hair, so we can get up to the Moose Lodge and up to the Cypress Hut up there in Brownsville.
I bet your sparkle jeans are a hit in Brownsville, Tennessee. They never seen nothing like you come to town.
Well, you need to just spruce up your wardrobe a little and get you some of those sparkle jeans.
Well, can I tell you something? His family must have the weirdest dressing style because, bro, Uncle Brasky's uncle, the one who was talking about him free bracing cocaine within the first 5 minutes of meeting me and how he's finally gotten saved and he's not held down by that crazy white devil anymore. I'm like sitting there like talking to him and freaking out, and then I realize homie's got cowboy boots on and jorts. Jorts. Only girls wear jorts.
Well, if you still had that old demon thought in your head, you'd be dressed that way too. He's just lucky to be out there and alive, man.
Yeah, that is the truth, man. We're all lucky to be alive. We got big games this weekend. T-Money, I'm kind of curious. You went to the University of Memphis.
I did. Yes, I did, Johnny. Proud alumni.
You a little excited going on the road down to Tallahassee to face Florida State?
I am a little excited. I got a lot of friends down there. A lot of boosters are making that trip down to Tallahassee.
Like, do you really call strippers your friends because you're paying them to be your friends? Like, Tallahassee's got tons of strip clubs, and like Tampa, but like you can't call strippers your friends, bro.
No, I'm not calling them my friends. You know, I'm calling the people from Memphis my friends. Going down
I thought you were saying that you had friends down in Tallahassee. I was going to say, I know the only place you go is the Cheetah Club.
No, I got friends from Memphis that rolled down to Tallahassee. So there's boots on the ground already down in Tallahassee, and I've talked to them. And, Mr. Mike G, he's a super insider. He's one of our people at the East Memphis Mensa Club meeting on Thursday. Mr. Mike G, he's down there, and he's boots on the ground, and he said the Tigers looked good in practice. They were crisp. They were disciplined. They really look like they got a little extra hop in their step. I think that the Tigers feel that this is their opportunity to really make a splash on the national stage. Now, everybody's going to call Florida State down and 0-2, and if the Tigers beat them, they're just going to reemphasize that they're sorry. But, I mean, they're a national brand. I mean, Florida State, when everybody saw that on the schedule, oh, we're going to go down there and get baptized. But, you know, we come out with a win here. I mean, we're sitting pretty in that driver's seat to make the playoffs. There's not a whole lot to keep us back after that. Well, we're only get in way of ourselves at this point. If we come out with a victory, Tallahassee, I mean, we should go undefeated. But there's a game we're going to slip up and lose that we're not supposed to lose. You know that's coming, Tiger fans. Just get ready. Whatever game that is, we're not going to go undefeated. We will slip up and lose a game we're supposed to win.
Well, if
and
they
then
slip up
go-
and lose the first game of the year in the college football playoff, I'll deal with it. They better not slip
That's
up
okay.
anywhere
I'm okay.
else.
Yeah, I had somebody tell me we don't want the Tigers to make the playoffs because they'll just get run out. I thought that was one of the dumbest things I've ever heard somebody intelligent say. I mean, you want to
We want you down here at Ole Miss where we can run you out first game.
Well,
Get a
that's
home
fine
game
as long
and
as we
go
get in the
that.
first round of the playoffs, Uncle Brasky. If we're in the first round of the playoffs, I don't care what happens to us after that, to be honest with you. We've made the first playoff ever. Just like Ole Miss was
Hey,
ranked
that's
number
cool.
one in the first Final Four. Weren't y'all ranked number one at one time or something like that?
We were ranked number 3. Mississippi State was number 1.
Oh, that's what it was. Something ridiculous. And then Mississippi State lost 7 in a row.
Damn.
No.
That was
Look,
Dak's
Mississippi
year.
State.
That was Dak. You're
That
right.
was
That was
Dak.
Dak's year.
Mm-hmm. I remember all that.
My buddy
We
AB,
beat Dak that year.
he thinks Dak's the greatest quarterback ever to live. He got all his family Dak Prescott jerseys for Christmas. I mean, I busted out laughing. My buddy, Skinny.
The worst time to
he
wear a
dresses
Dak
up-
Prescott jersey is in January.
Well, they wore it. He got the whole family one. And you know what Skinny, our boy Skinny, does? He gets those
Likes to get
what they
in
call
fights.
the PJs for Christmas, and he dresses his whole family in the same PJs, and they take a picture. I think that's hilarious. And then my boy AB, he got them all Dak Prescott jerseys and took him a Christmas picture.
Well, what am I getting for Christmas? What are you picking this weekend? I need some winners from you, Money.
Well, I got some winners. I mean, I've been kind of hot on the radio. I'm 3-1 on the radio over the last 2 weeks, Johnny. So, I mean, the listeners, they need to start kind of paying attention to what T-Money's picking. We call this a heater in the gambling world. And, Johnny, I got a couple plays for you, but just remember that I don't know your bankroll any more than you know mine. And with that being said, I think this is a run out. They've been waiting. They played like crap last week, all the penalties and holding and fumbled the ball 3 times. And for whatever reason, South Florida likes giving Alabama problems the last couple of years. But I like Ramajama Yellowhammer giving hell Alabama against Whiskey this weekend, minus 16 points. I don't think Whiskey, they definitely don't have the athletes, as Uncle Brasky always says. Alabama's got better athletes. Luke Fickle's in over his head up there at Wisconsin. I mean, they barely got off the ground. They beat Western Michigan 28-14, and Ohio State run them out 46-0. So, I mean, you tell me what's fixing to happen. I think Alabama gets loose. They're going to be up there. Now, Camp Randall is a tough place to play. I will give West
I
Wisconsin
love the
that.
House
They-
of Pain when they play the House
they
of Pain
do
up in
bring
there.
it, and I'm about to say they do the jump around, which is one of the coolest traditions, the newer traditions here in college football. I love that, and Camp Randall is awesome to play. I'd love to go watch a game at Camp Randall, to be honest with you, but I think they're in over their head this weekend, and Alabama rolls them by 3 touchdowns.
Just a little sidebar. One of my buddies who moved to Wisconsin wishes that he would have. He told me like 2 months before. He's like, "Man, I got to get out of this place, man. This whole state." And I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "I keep getting arrested." And now he's like doing like 6 months. So I don't know if we can go to Wisconsin to watch a game, bro.
Well, I know, up there, there's not a whole lot to do. You got You can drink beer and eat cheese up there, I believe, is what they do for the most part in Wisconsin.
That just that just
no,
sounds like something that
got
would be
big
so
women
foul.
and- I don't know what do they do up there?
I don't know.
Snow ski or snow?
I don't think they got no
mobile?
mountains in Wisconsin, bro. You gotta have a mountain to
Well,
sneak.
you do that cross country skiing. You ever seen that?
You think people eating cheese and drinking beer, big fat people, are gonna do cross country skiing?
Nah,
It's
you're
called,
right.
They couch surfing, brother. They couch surfing.
You're right. They're just sitting there eating peanuts at the bar, I guess.
That's why people up north go bowling. That's the only thing they do during the winter. You know, nobody in the South goes bowling.
True,
You know,
true
so,
that.
I mean, we don't even know what bowling is. You know, we go play pool at the bar and gamble on it. We don't. We don't go bowling.
All right, Money, you don't have any more picks, do you?
I got one more pick. This is the easy to me. This is the easiest pick of the weekend. This just stuck out like a sore thumb to me, and that's Georgia UGA minus 22 over a sad Kentucky club. Their run's over. They had a good little run, Kentucky did, but they're back to being the lower echelon of the SEC, and as low as they can get, they're going to be awful. I think Vandy may beat them this year if Vandy's got them on the schedule. Kentucky's terrible. That run for Stoops is over. You got run out by South Carolina, another lowly SEC middle to bottom middle club, and Georgia's tough, man. They look good. Beck looks good. The whole Georgia looks good. I love Georgia minus 22 points. I can't believe it's come down, to be honest with you.
Brock Vandergraff, I think, is going to be scared this weekend facing that Georgia Bulldogs defense. Now,
Man, he was scared last week against South Carolina.
That's a good point. It's a good point. He was so scared last week that South Carolina actually has college game day there this weekend for the LSU game. Like, get out of here. That's
Well,
crazy.
I can't believe they're going to South. Have they ever been to South Carolina? Probably, I'd imagine.
I mean,
Have.
Spurrier.
10 years ago.
Spurrier, back when Spurrier was there, that's how long ago
Yeah,
it was.
yeah. They had Javonte Clowney.
And don't forget, like, their little Garcia who was running around back there, Steven Garcia.
Oh, yeah, he was fun to watch. I remember him.
He was fun.
That's right. I
was
do
fun.
remember him.
Uncle Brasky, Ole Miss is playing Wake Forest this weekend on the road. I'm curious, you got a feel on that game?
I do got a feel on it, Johnny. First of all, we're going to start out. I'm going to give you my favorite play this week. I like South Carolina to beat LSU outright.
Whoa.
I like them to beat LSU outright.
Money
Yes, sir.
money line bet.
Money line, you're getting 220 on it. You might as well go on and bet it. I think South Carolina look good. LSU doesn't prove me. You let McNeese State put 20-something on you?
Yeah, that's true. The only thing that scares me, Garrett Nussmeier will be able to throw because he's not Brock Vandergraff. Garrett Nussmeier's thing. I'm starting to think that maybe that total going over. If you think Carolina can actually beat LSU, then I think we got to think that game can go over. So right now, money line plus 220 on the Gamecocks. I should have known.
On the Gamecocks, they're going to have game day there. They're going to be excited. They've got more to play for than LSU. Old crying Brian Kelly. We, can't do nothing. So that's who I like. Take it or leave it. And I also we're going to double hit this Ole Miss this weekend. I like the first half. We're going to nickel play the first half minus 13. And then we're going to play the dime bag on the game at minus 21.5 right now. That number's come down from 24.
Wow.
I can't believe that one either.
Yeah, I think Jackson Dart and that offense is just filthy.
Man,
Plus,
it
the
is
defense
brutal.
is real. I know they ain't played nobody, but you can tell, completing 24 straight passes against air is difficult.
Correct.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I could take that ball and throw it at Big Slender and not hit him from 5 yards 24 times in a row. Or even a big old dude. We can get a big old fat guy out there, and I probably couldn't hit him 24 times in a row from 5 yards.
All right, so we're
that's my
nickeling
thinking on it, Johnny.
and diming the first half Ole Miss, and we're also doing the game for Ole Miss. Then you're doing money line Gamecocks beating LSU. Not bad.
Yeah.
I think I like all three of them, surprisingly.
I like what.
And I will
like
tell
what
you,
Lane
too,
Kiffin
I want to
said.
Ole Memphis, I want to go and extend. Notre Dame can come to the Liberty Bowl this year since we only have half a stadium. You know, maybe they could get them a rematch against Northern Illinois.
I love it.
And that'd be a good. I mean, now we don't have to hear all these Catholics crying about we need to be in the college football playoffs. They single-handedly ruined that first week.
Yep, they did. They did.
Against a MAC team. I don't think they've ever lost to a MAC team. I think that was the first time ever to lose to a MAC team.
That's painful. That's painful. Now,
I'll tell you what, you better get your Liberty Bowl tickets now. They're only 25,000 of them.
My boy Jacques Lecoq just sent his pick in, and he said he's going with Oklahoma minus 13 against Tulane. I hate to say it. I don't like that one.
Scroogey of the week. That's the Scroogey. That's the Lance Strode Scroogey of the week. Why is that number 13? That is a weird number.
They're setting you up, bro.
First of all, look what Houston did. Houston got boat raced the first week, and then they had a chance to beat Oklahoma.
Correct. Yeah. I think that's the
that's
Lance
scary.
Strode Scroogey play of the week. You know,
I
something's wrong with that line. Something's weird.
Man, I will say, though, there is a Friday night game tonight. Arizona's playing. It was 2 games tonight, but there's only one of them I was looking on that I kind of wanted to bet on. Arizona, Kansas State, both of them, this is a huge game. Kansas State, of course, they're at their crib in Manhattan. But, man, I look over at Noah Fafita and the McMillan kid. Dude, the McMillan's going to be the best weapon on the field all night, and the best quarterback is Noah Fafita. I feel like taking Arizona plus 7 points is feeling yummy.
I like that.
I think you're right. I like it.
Man.
I'll be at the bar tonight, so I'll need something to play. So
what time am I meeting you there, bro?
I might be there about 5, Johnny. You'll probably already be there, though.
Yeah, I definitely will be there. Well, I'm glad you'll be in there at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, you'll be there with the Tito's, at least 1 or 2 deep by then,
It's Friday. I've already been clowning.
Man, a Friday. I love it. Yes, you have been, Johnny. You were on your best behavior this week. I have to call a spade a spade. You've been good this week, Johnny.
Thank you. Uncle Brasky, T-Money, thanks for y'all's time. Have a wonderful weekend.
All right, Johnny.
Thank you,
Remember,
Johnny. Y'all
a
have a
broke
great
man is a dangerous man, Johnny.
Those guys I just absolutely love. Now, if you want to do something a little more cultured and sophisticated, like maybe go play a round of golf, and I know it's raining right now, or it's been raining and it's a little wet right now, but man, when it clears up and the skies are beautiful, think about Meadowbrook Country Club. It's just across the street. And when I say across the street, across the bridge in the Mississippi River, right there over in West Memphis, 15 minutes from Midtown, 10 minutes from downtown. And right now, it's a private club, but you can go out there and play that bad boy for $59. They have memberships, by the way. $350 a membership, $350 per month membership includes, of course, your golf, your tennis, pickleball, swimming. Plus, they have a great restaurant and bar. They make a great Tito's Bloody Mary over there. And again, it's less than 15 minutes from downtown. And let's just say you're a young buck. How old are you, Dagus?
24.
24 years old. Guess what? You would get it for $200 a month. Anybody 20 to 29 who wants a monthly membership, only $200 a month. If you're 30 to 34, only $250. Now, if you're 35 or older, it is $350. But they have something for everybody at Meadowbrook Country Club. Back in 2 Shakes, Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Make your next grill your last with a Big Green Egg. Smoke, bake, roast, sear, and grill, all with a lifetime warranty. Save money on fuel, eating out, and replacing expensive grills that cannot match the flavor of the Big Green Egg. Ready to cook in only 10 to 15 minutes with temperatures below 200, above 700, and anywhere in between with ease. Change your at-home cooking experience for life. Go to shop.biggreenegg.com.
Jenkins Floors and More invite you to their retail warehouse where they pass wholesale savings on to you. Jenkins Floors in Little Rock, Cleveland, Mississippi, and now open in Horn Lake at 2356 West Goodman Road. Specializing in flooring and carpeting, tile, plantation shutters, and blinds, Jenkins makes your life easy with a 2-week turnaround. Contractors, builders, or family projects, call 662-469-9350 for a free estimate. Owners Timmy and Rebecca Jenkins say hello to Sports 56 fans and look forward to your business.
Get your tailgate season going now and win a free tailgate package from Buster's Butcher. Stop in Buster's Butcher, 199 South Highland Street, and register to win an Ice Mule Cooler, 4 Yeti Coasters, a $200 gift certificate, and some Buster's branded swag. Tailgate package valued at $500, no purchase necessary, 1 entry per person. Winner drawn 10 a.m. October 1st. Buster's Butcher offering the finest selection of curated meats, cheeses, prepared foods, and more. Learn more at bustersbutcher.com.
Looking for sports in all the wrong places? Try the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square. Fun, friendly, exciting, and comfortable with wall-to-wall TVs for all your favorite games, 24 taps for all your favorite beers, including NA and local craft beers, and an in-front-of-the-wall full bar for all your other favorite beverages, including a full wine list. And in an upscale menu, patio seating, daily specials, and events, and you found all your sports in the one right place. The Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square, Highway 70.
But you got to be willing to take the hit and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy, Johnny Radio. It is a Friday, and I'm going to tell you a little something, man. We got football wall to wall. I'm excited, man. You know we got Memphis and Florida State tomorrow, 11 a.m. There is one place that I'm thinking about kind of parking myself at tomorrow. Have y'all heard about the Owner's Box out in Lakeland? It's over in Lakeland's Town Square. I checked this bad boy out, and let me tell you something, man. This bar is cold-blooded. All the beers, all the Tito's, unbelievable food. Man, it's got up at the 300 seating, 24 beers on tap, 50 beers in cans and bottles, full bar, unbelievable menu. Check out the Owner's Box out there in Lakeland's Town Square. We got to get to one more play of the day. And my man, Connor, said that he loves Vanderbilt minus 10.5 against your team.
He's biased.
Oh, he likes. Is he a door?
He anchors down. We anchor down at the station, John.
Oh man, now this is the home of the Ole Miss Rebels, brother. It's hotty toddy.
Interesting.
You know we got that covered for you, by the way, this weekend. Ole Miss at Wake Forest pregame
John,
starts at 3:30.
Auburn is starting a redshirt freshman quarterback this week, and it's been announced on their On3 page by a reporter that they're going to go with a redshirt freshman at quarterback.
Peyton Thorne is benched.
Peyton Thorne will not start, according to On3.
It's about damn time. That dude is terrible. You throw 4 interceptions against Cal. Bunch of smart kids that aren't even fast or good. My goodness. Hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. For Brian Dacus, I'm John Harden. Get out there, make the world a better place. See you on the flip side. Peace.
Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, Automatic Gates Construction